Hello and welcome to Yami Shibai podcast, hosted by me, the Germ, joined by the average, the normal, the everyday bloke, Ghosty.
That ain't me. I'm extraordinary. I don't have a good intro or entrance this time, though.
We didn't really think about it. You've had a busy week or two. Hey, it's cool.
Maybe next time I'll be on the balcony across the way waving or something.
uh,
It'd have to be a long ass intro, though.
that would be really funny. What if it's just a cardboard cutout you just like stick on there?
That would be much easier.
We see the neighbors come out, you just slowly roll down the curtain.
Oh, I can't pull it.
Yeah.
Well, that's unsatisfying.
That is unsatisfying. Huh. Anywho, back to the episode. You should say where you were actually while you were busy.
I was everywhere.
You were everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere. Really, actually. I was in Tokyo. I was in California. I'm all over.
Crazy. Your life is crazy. I was here and here and here.
And next episode, you will be here.
I'll be here. We're both living our own ideal life, though. That's how I see it.
It's just different. Different strokes for different folks.
Mm-hmm. It's always a weird saying, but it's true.
I was wondering if you were going to point it out or not. You failed the self-control test.
Every time. So anyway, step right up and have a look. It's time for Yamashibai. The episode, Calling Crane. And we didn't confirm last time. I did confirm that I believe they're crane and crane are both spelled the same way. Like crane and like bird crane.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We join a gaggle of middle school girls having a sleepover. Oh, 90s Hollywood has ruined us. Was it more 80s actually than 90s?
I feel like it was more 80s.
Yeah. Definitely came
I don't
over
really have
somewhat.
any strong cultural associations with the 90s.
Yeah. They met this night to try the most popular thing at their school. A game that allows you to talk to the dead called Calling Crane. I actually want to go back to this. You can tell it's modern times because they're all just on their phones.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's the first time I remember seeing smartphones.
No.
Maybe it
Remember the Night Bus episode? That had a cell phone in it.
Yeah, they were really on the phones.
Yeah, and also, what was that episode called? My Worst Nightmare in the Washroom, where everyone just looks over the stall door.
Oh, yes. I know the one you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called.
He had a cell phone. He was emailing his coworker for drinks. We are shown a real image of the steps involved in this game. First, you put a red string and a razor in water and leave it overnight. Then, a person swallows a paper crane with a dead person's name written on it. And you also have to drink the water, but I swear to you they don't say that in the episode at this part. I swear.
Oh, I didn't. I assumed the glass of water she drank was a different glass of water.
Oh, interesting. I don't think so. I think it's like you drink the water that the razor and the string were in.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. It's funny in your scenario, you put the razor and the red string in the water. The next day, you just get a fresh thing of tap water.
It's like, it's all good.
That's
Does
funny.
not affect me at all.
Rumors say this was tried at another school, and people involved ended up in a psych ward. Also, hey, look, it's the fourth man. I bet it's an episode of ours.
They probably took those screenshots from our slideshow.
Definitely. This wasn't made years and years before. Of course. One of the girls speaks up, not sure if they should do this. But the other two blow her off, and the girl blue suggests they write their old teacher's name on the paper. The one in pink, shocked. We recap of who their teacher was. A young man who loved scary things. In fact, he was the one who taught them this game.
Bit of a weird thing to teach your students, but okay.
I know, right? I guess like if you wanted a relation with your students, like to get closer to them or something.
Drink razor blade water, kids.
Yeah, I feel like that is like You shouldn't cross that line, but But he just disappeared with no one knowing what happened to him. All that was left was a broken glass in the classroom. Blue Shirt writes his name on the paper, even though they have no idea if he's even dead. Which is a really odd thing to do, right?
I kind of assumed that they knew he was dead somehow.
No, he just disappeared.
No.
They have no idea. Isn't that a weird thing to add?
Well, I guess they haven't heard from him. It's a safe assumption, I guess.
We're told that you need to write the name 49 times on the crane. And we get a real picture of a piece of paper with a name written on it. I'm pretty sure in Japanese, I forget, is it 4 that sounds like death, or is it 9? I don't remember.
I think it's 4.
4. I'm not sure what the significance of 49 is, though, or it's just like, I forgot to look.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
But I know 4 is similar to death, so it's considered unlucky. And on the paper, they have it written 40 times. Wait. Wait a minute. So
you're the only one who's ever dedicated enough to count them, I imagine.
Probably. So I believe his name is 2 symbols because like the symbols are repeating in that pattern. Would you confirm my suspicion?
I don't think they said his name, did they?
I don't think so. But like they have that symbol that goes down and then has like a square on top. They have another symbol that's like, it's hard to describe. Just line in the center.
I don't recognize them either.
Yeah. And like it just repeats those 2 symbols over and over again. So with the assumption that that's his name, the 2 symbols, that means it's only written 40 times. But if you assume it's not, like if it's only one letter representing his name and it just looks weird, it would be 80 times.
No, it has to be the 2.
Yeah. But and if it's 2 characters together, like if it's 2 characters, then the 2 characters repeating, it'd only be 20 times.
We're getting too deep.
So none of them are 49.
Maybe it's written on the other side.
Maybe I've wasted all my time.
That part is the only part I can tell you is true.
Yep. Don't need that written down 40 times, eh? They decide a game to swallow the crane with the water. I so debated writing to debate if they're actually playing rock, paper, scissors like the translation says they are.
Oh, they are. It's just got a different name in Japanese.
Yeah. I know they play even in odds as well, though.
It's rock, paper, scissors.
In this case, I think it is. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think. Of course, the girl who doesn't want to be here loses and decides there's no way out of this, which means they're bad friends.
Oh, I think we could have established that by this point.
Oh, there's more evidence in the future. So she swallows the water in the crane. And she starts coughing, saying the crane is stuck in her throat. The other 2 laugh and joke that it must be their teacher talking now.
Look at that obnoxious face.
I know. They are definitely not the heroes of this story, for sure. The narrator tells us it feels terrible, but her friends keep laughing. Her friends finally notice and start to worry that she might be choking. And here's some Heimlich maneuvers you could, just in case. The interesting thing about the backslap is it left for a while and then came back in for the Heimlich maneuver.
It went out of style.
Like they didn't think it worked, and then follow up through with the tests showed that it did help.
How hard do you have to hit the back?
Pretty hard. The same for the actual, like what you do is the trick is you find the bottom of the rib cage and you pull up.
Well,
it really hurts when you do it. So
really,
yeah, people have been known to break ribs.
Ow, ow, ow.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
And in case you're by yourself, here's how you do it to yourself. You find a chair or a table or something. You do that same move right there and you push down.
I feel like that would be less effective.
It is. But like if you're alone, what are you supposed to do, you know?
It's all you got.
Yeah. Just like, you know, like I'm somewhat of a medical professional, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a CPR specialist. So just keep those in mind. Doesn't mean you're officially trained.
You could have just saved a life. Who knows?
Potentially. Or also if you can hear them choking, like that means they're getting air through. You don't need to panic. But you be there
Oh,
for
that's
that
true.
person. Be there for that person. Just let them know it's okay, right?
Tell them stop being so dramatic.
If they're choking like and they're not getting air through, that's when you want to start considering the Heimlich.
Good to know.
Yeah. So anyway, after that first aid lesson, after a scary amount of time, she finally spits out the crane, and we get another real picture of the piece of paper with a bunch of gunk on it. I wonder
The
what they,
red of the crane looks kind of gross here too.
I wonder what they put on that. They make it look so gunky.
I think it's just water and the way the red on the other side of the paper absorbs through
To
makes it look
me, it
really
looks
weird.
like slimy. So I wonder if
It
they,
does look slimy.
I wonder if they put something, it through something. You know, like
Oh, maybe dedication. That's
yeah,
all I can say.
hard to say. I wonder if the red's supposed to be the string. I doubt it, but maybe.
The piece of paper it was on was supposed to be red. Remember?
Oh
They
yeah, but
specified that.
do you see like that strong red bit in the center though? That's what I was wondering about.
Yep, it's because it's folded around. Because
Oh,
there's a
okay.
paper crane. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But wait, why does it have their friend's name on it now?
Dun, dun, dun.
Then the two pushers hear a deep voice behind them, where their friend was. It asks, "What should we talk about?" The
Whoa!
end. Ah!
Spooky.
So right off the bat, it reminds me a lot of the Fourth Man.
Does it? How
They're
so?
both like
Because of the urban myth?
the urban legend, like
Mm.
of teenagers talking about things that might, like the spooky stuff, where you have to do certain steps.
I guess that's why they put that reference in there. I thought it
Probably.
was just because they didn't have enough stuff to put ads in, so they just reused what they already had.
That's funny. That probably is why they chose the Fourth Man. And I thought of that before I noticed they put that in there.
Oh, I see. They're like links to urban myths about the fourth man that's on the
Mhm.
same website. Yeah, they definitely did that intentionally.
Yep.
Okay, that's
And
kind of cool.
it's funny because I noticed it reminded me of the Fourth Man, and maybe my fifth time through this episode, because I have to go through them quite a few times. That's when I noticed the Fourth Man reference.
It's pretty subtle, honestly. I like it.
Mhm.
It's a cool throwback.
They didn't use my image though that I thought was the best.
What would that be?
I don't remember actually. I was just thinking it through, like, wait, what image did I use? I'm pretty sure I didn't use the ones that.
You assumed we all knew, but you didn't even know
If I
yourself.
remember, I think it was the handshake and the mouth open. I think it's the.
I thought that was the fourth image they had there.
It's just him leaning over. We
Uh,
can head back and check it out.
it could just be leaned over. I remember it, but oh, his head's down.
Yeah, I believe there's another image where his mouth's like wide open, like when he's holding her hand. I believe that's the image I used.
There was a lot of footage of real stuff in this episode,
Mm.
even more than normal.
The last few episodes they've been doing that. Like has a lot. They have a lot of real life footage. Just
It's
grab a
usually
cam.
haunted objects, as we pointed out.
Mm.
And I guess there was 3 haunted objects in this one, including the broken glass.
So there's the string, the glass, the razor, the water, and the crane.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
So a lot, yeah.
So more like 5 haunted objects, or maybe the glass is okay. Maybe like the razor,
Ah,
the
true.
string, and the water all get cursed, but the glass is like squeaky clean and fine.
Has no part in this.
It's like
I also appreciated
keep your
their dedication to break the glass that they were using for the original shot.
I didn't notice.
That's
like
one of those things you only get one chance at. They smash the glass, so you hope it looks cool.
It has to break every time or the ritual doesn't succeed. So if you don't feel like you can say no to your friends, they're not good friends. Just straight up.
So true.
Yep.
I mean, when you're in middle school, you kind of feel the pressure of your friend's acceptance.
That's true. Middle school and high school friendship relationships don't tend to be healthy.
And she pretty much saw the easiest way out is just swallowing the paper crane. But I was thinking, even when she was swallowing it, I was like, that's kind of big to swallow whole, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that'd be really hard.
No wonder she choked.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
I wonder if you still get cursed if you get the whole thing down.
Maybe it's only if it gets stuck. It's a test of your fortitude.
What if you chew?
I think that would actually be advisable.
I will say, them telling us the teacher's background, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like at first, we were telling.
They needed someone, like when they were saying write down a dead person's name, I was like, who can they use? They need to introduce somebody that's relevant to the characters.
I wish there was something like one of the girls said like, "Who?" Like, "Oh yeah, you were sick at the time," and then they explained who he was or something.
You're right. That would have been better.
Yeah.
But were they talking about it, or was the narrator? I
The
feel like it was
narrator
the
talked
narrator.
about it. They did talk about him.
Okay, I think that's okay then, because it's not like it was like an awkward explanation. Like, we should name it after our teacher who disappeared 2 weeks ago, as you both already know.
But it's not in the narrative though. Like they just like placed it in there.
Yeah, it was a little bit out of place. I agree.
But there is a comment that does have some redemption about that and might redeem these episodes for some people. Keep an eye out for that.
No,
Is
I'm
that from
excited.
this one or the next episode? Now I don't remember. I hope it's this
Well, we'll
episode.
find out.
Yep. If it's not here this time, it's next time.
There's always some kind of redeeming comment. So
It's a really good one. So I have written down in my notes, I don't like slide 11. Ugly and doesn't look like a school desk to me. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. That does not look like it's from a school. From a school.
I thought the same thing. I was like, so that's a granite countertop.
Schools do not have that kind of money.
I don't know what they were going for there, but
maybe like the teacher's desk, like at the front where they spend all the money.
maybe they're like a chemistry teacher and they have countertops in there.
They're still not granite.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's funny. It's just funny. I don't mind. Just when it occurs to you, you always look at it. You can never look at it the same way again.
It's clearly somebody's kitchen.
So I like the idea of. So I have a theory about how this works. I think that it switches the soul of the body.
So she'll go into the next person?
Like if someone else was to swallow that piece of paper with her name on it, she would go into that person.
Do you think it's permanent though, or do you think it's temporary?
I think you could reverse it, hypothetically. If you like held down her body and shoved that back in. But you need the water though. I don't know if it'd work without the water.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Okay,
it does feel reversible in that case.
Hold them down for a day while you the new razor and string sit in water, and then you do it.
When they said the other person lost their mind, do you think it was the person that did the game, or do you think it was one of the witnesses who just was coping with what they experienced?
That's a good question. That never occurred to me. I kind of assumed it was them all.
And how come nobody else died? The other retellings of the stories don't mention people dying. It only happened in the case of their teacher.
I have a theory about that.
What's that?
I think that their teacher, that was not his original body.
It was like a ghost of some kind?
And that's why he brought it up in the school to teach the students, because he wanted a new body after that one.
That makes a lot more sense.
There's no real evidence in the episode to suggest that, but that's my headcanon.
I like it a lot better that way.
Yeah. Anything else to say about the episode?
No, let's get into the comments.
Into the comments.
Later.
Sorry for that mysterious cut. I had a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm not sure if it ends up in the episode or not. We'll find out.
I mean, we could just cut, like hard cut. I don't think anybody would notice.
But there's two reasons I think they could notice. A, we probably would change between 1 second and another. And B, the timer might come up where it says it's going to run out.
Hopefully not. We'll see, I guess.
It could.
If that happens, just like put like a smiley face over it or something.
Just like there's nothing here.
I have a request for the cut. You should use one of those like SpongeBob in between images, like 1 moment later. One of those ones.
That would be pretty funny, and maybe I'll try to challenge myself and do that. Not that I think
It
it's
shouldn't
hard.
be that hard. You can just
It's
throw
not-
the image in. You don't even
it's
need
not
the
hard.
audio.
Anywho, you read the first comment.
Catch the Birdie said, "So, did she actually die as she choked on the crane, or was dead the whole time?" XD. I mean, I'm guessing the former, right?
I just thought it was an interesting theory that she was dead the whole time.
Mm.
It's a classic.
That's
theory.
kind of similar.
Yeah.
Similar to your teacher was a ghost theory. Is that also the girl is the ghost?
It's
12 thumbs
fun.
up.
So I added it. Josh Hali?
Good enough.
Lol, seriously? That's what I'm wondering. Like, she was already dead or just died choking on the paper crane? Because if she just died by choking there, that's silly. And then someone put a comment below his comment. Melwerence85? She was possessed by the teacher. If you can cough, then you wouldn't choke to death since that means you can breathe. See, I brought that up too.
Yeah, it's a medical professional.
We just coincidentally came up with the same theory. And also had the same knowledge. It's not me.
Well, if their name is an indicator, they were born in 1985, so
Oh.
they're Gen X enough to know these things.
No, it's not necessarily the year they were born.
Seems like a reasonable assumption.
It's likely.
JGirl21 said, "Why in the world would a teacher tell middle school students of a game with razors and eating paper? Most young teens are idiots and will try it out at home, as evidenced here. The stupidity that led to this episode is astounding."
Unless my theory's true, and then he's a mastermind.
I like yours better. It makes me enjoy it more.
Thank you.
The last sentence there, the stupidity that led to this episode is astounding. It's kind of funny because it kind of makes it sound like it's real.
And there's another comment on the J-Girl's comment from
A reply.
KXB.
You got
Because the teacher wanted to trick them into doing the ritual so he can steal one of their bodies.
it.
So
That's
there-
kind of similar to what you were saying.
it's kind of exactly what I was saying. Yeah, just
Mhm.
similar ideas from maybe similar people. Who knows? I am also not KXB.
Yeah, that was really suspicious the way you said that.
No comment. No comment.
Otaku Joe 32 said, "That voice at the end was just plain creepy." I didn't find that creepy personally.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then High King 21, who has the same profile picture, replied, "It was like whispered and spoken aloud all at once. Very creepy."
See, I did notice that when I re-listened to it. They're right. It's whispered and loud. It's interesting.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice it all the first time.
And that's image is from Dr. Stone, a super
Popular.
science-based show, which is really fun.
Recommended.
Very recommended. Do you know how normally like the power system they like in like Shonen Jump stuff where it's like action, it's like I'm getting stronger. In that show, it's
Yeah.
replaced by science.
I'm getting smarter.
and making stuff. Yeah. It's really cool.
That's fun.
I believe it's my turn. Stale Cupcake said, "They sat there and let her choke. Wow." And then we have some comments commenting on that. Machine? No knowledge of the Heimlich maneuver, just stupid with the reverse name. Oh, I didn't notice it was so negative. And then Lobo Sky says, "I know, right? They were just like laughing as she choked. Like, ha ha ha, look, her dying expression is so funny, smiley face." And then Sheol number 1 says, what are friends for, right?
People were very. I think people are more disturbed by the friends not helping than the actual episode here.
I agree. That's
It is disturbing. Bystander effect.
but the natural state of teenagers are just assholes. So okay.
Noby Noob 82 said, "The characters be scarier than this episode." Not saying that this episode is bad, just saying that the toes are badly drawn.
So let's go look at slide 4, where we get the best view. You ready?
I didn't notice this at all.
I didn't either. They are
It's
a little
not that
freaky.
bad.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
they're
not
that bad
that
either.
bad. Come on. It looks fine.
I think it's very passable.
Let's see you draw some feet. Noby Noob.
Nelson Smith says, I actually like the fact that they experiment and try to find something slightly different every season. Fans who want the same thing all the time is one of the reasons why so many franchises get stale. And I agree. Like trying to narrate something new and different.
It's a lot more interesting to analyze these than if they kept doing the same thing over and over.
And if I kept quiet, you'd think I was talking about this comment. But I'm going to wrap myself out and say, no, it wasn't this comment. It must be in the next episode I put the comment.
You could have sprung it for that one earlier, too. That was kind of similar, just not the full idea. It's fine.
I want to wrap myself out. It's cool.
Well, we know you're prepared in any case.
So themes and metaphors. Do you have any ideas, Ghosty?
Yeah, I think the thing that stands out for me, well, there's two things. I think one of them you'll have probably mentioned or thought of was just about peer pressure and the negative consequences of giving into it with your friends.
You know
But
what?
kind of the more,
I think you
sorry.
nailed it. That sounds very right.
There's one that's more interesting to me, which is it's kind of weird that the teacher was telling them this information.
This is my theory. Just a second. Let's see. Do you want to finish yours first? Do you want to hear mine? See if it's the same.
You go ahead.
I think it's a warning about things that not trustworthy people can teach, like adults can teach you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that. He's kind of suspicious too, because he's a grown-ass man teaching a class of females.
Right?
And then he's telling them to drink razor blade water.
Yeah, it's suspicious, right? And then
he's showing up at their sleepover.
I was gonna say he uses their body.
Suspect.
Yeah. So many good lessons to learn from here.
It's a warning.
Could also just be the classic of don't play with dead things.
I mean, that's generally good advice too.
Or razors. So, what is your personal score, Ghosty?
I thought it was pretty good. I actually like it a lot more with your analysis that the teacher is a ghost, and this was his plan all along. I also like the throwback to the other episode, so I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed this episode too, but for me it loses some points because there's like not a boo monster. It does have some interesting ideas, but because there's not like any interesting visuals going on, I'm gonna give it a 6, like average for Yam Shibai, I find.
Harsh critic.
I mean, I still enjoyed the episode. So we get an overall score of 14.
Not bad.
Yep, not bad at all.
Respectable.
It's going to be up there in this season, I think. So, the next episode is called White Line. What do you think White Line could refer to?
I think when you're driving down the road, there's that line on the side.
Whoa.
It's a white line.
Yeah.
And it's about straying over that. Maybe there's a ghost on the other side of the white line.
But is it white in Japan?
I can't remember.
I don't
know if they
either.
even have the line on the side of the road.
I know it's different based in different countries, but I don't know if it's Japan does the same as us or not.
Not sure.
It has, believe it or not, nothing to do with a road, so you are 100% wrong.
I think this is the most wrong I've been in a while, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Usually
And
I'm in
also,
the
it's not
ballpark.
about straying over a white line.
I don't know.
Mild spoiler, nothing big. It's about following a white line, so you are off on every base.
Hey, when you're driving, technically you're following the white line.
Not driving.
I'm just saying.
They're not
You're
driving.
technically following it. You're technically
No cars
following
are
it.
involved.
I get minor points. Minor
One.
points for that.
1 point.
I'll take what I can get. Good
I
enough.
mean, there was a white line in your idea.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining me, Ghosty.
Thanks. It's been fun. See y'all next time.
And remember, thank you for being you. Bye. Why did your camera freeze?